Hey, how's it going? Javier Lomelin here. In this video, we're going to be running through the AMZ Part 1 introduction flow. This is the flow users get right after the Facebook ads welcome flow. And this is going to be the flow where we tell users the terms of the offer as well as instructions as to how to purchase URL-based products or search find by based products. Let's check it out. So we're just zooming in real quick. And very first step, it's a condition. First thing it does, it checks for promo status if it's off and if users don't have the AMZ admin tag. If they match this condition, they go over to the AMZ promo and flow. This is basically a global bot field that determines if all promotions are on or off within the bot. All right. Next thing we check for is if tag is AMZ pending rebate. If they have that, we go ahead and send them straight to the AMZ pending rebate flow. Now here we check if AMZ bot journey is 15-minute warning status check. Here, this is actually a condition that users get in the 15-minute warning flow that you will see in the junk drawer folder video. If you haven't checked that out, please make sure to check it out. All right. Next thing we have is the bot journey. We check if bot journey is rebate part 1 blacklist check. If they already have that cuff, well, we know to redirect them straight to this action right here. And from there, it just goes ahead and sends them to this condition right here. All right. Next thing we check for is if bot journey is rebate part 1 email confirmation. If they have this and they trigger this flow again, I'll send them straight over to this message right here where we ask them to confirm their email. All right. Next thing we check for is if bot journey is rebate part 1 terms/email capture. Again, if they have this cuff, we'll send them straight over to this action, which then asks users to please type their email. If they don't match any of these conditions, we send them to this action, which sets the bot journey to rebate part 1 terms/email capture. From there, we present them the terms of the offer. This is actually a message note that you are going to edit yourself. All right. Why? Because right here, the way we have it set up is as you can see right here, it says rebates will be processed 72 hours after receiving confirmation that your order has been delivered. All right, this is going to be something that you edit. Maybe you want to process rebates as soon as the order ships, as soon as it's been delivered. Maybe you want to delay the rebate after it's been shipped. That's up to you. So if you want to delay rebates after it's shipped, it will say we will process rebates, let's say 7 days. All right, so we will process rebates 7 days after receiving confirmation your order has shipped. It's up to you how you want to set that up. We also include here more information about their rebate. We're going to give you, let's say it's 90%, so we'll tell them we'll give you a 90% rebate for a total of price with percentage. So this is basically what the price of the rebate will be, or the amount of the rebate will be once the percentage has been added. All right. We also tell users taxes should not include it. Don't cancel your order. Limited to 1 product per household. Reviews are not required. And we also tell them please make sure to purchase within the next 30 minutes or you will lose your place in line. From there, we just say by continuing with this offer, you're agreeing to the terms above. After that, we ask for their email. All right. Now you may notice in this message node we have not only are we asking for users' emails, but we also have this cancel order button right here. Now after running these campaigns with multiple vendors, one thing we notice is that there may be users who come here, we ask for their email, and maybe they're not interested in continuing, so they type something like I'm not interested or no, whatever. What happens then? Because we have a user input asking for their email, the bot will respond with please type in the correct email, to which users often respond to I said no or no, whatever. Again, the bot responds with the same thing and users become irritated. That usually leads to unsubscribes or even blocks. So we reduce this by including this cancel order button. Now in that flow, once users click this button, we ask people, hey, are you sure you want to continue cancel? If they click no, they'll just redirect back to here. This is where this condition kicks in, that if they have this bot journey, we go ahead and ask them for their email again. But if they click yes, well, we cancel that user input for their email by sending them a blank user input. Now make sure to check out that video, all right, because it explains it in more detail. All right, next thing we do here, once we get their email, we set the PayPal email to the system email that we have saved in, and we go ahead and go to the next step, which sets the AMZ bot journey to rebate part 1 email confirmation, and we clear the text recovery cuff. Once that's done, we just go ahead and we ask users to confirm their email. If it's not correct, they go ahead and click edit email. We clear the PayPal email and we ask for their email again, all right? If it is correct, they'll just go ahead and click yes, or that is correct, and we go to this condition. Very first thing we do is we check if they have the pending rebate tag. There's many times where users already have a pending rebate. They already purchased they already verified their order. I don't know why, but they scroll up and they start clicking buttons. Well, if they click this button right here and they have this tag, well, it sends them straight over to the pending rebate flow. Next thing we check for is if users have any of these bot journeys or this tag right here for bad buyer. If they have these, that means that they're still running through this flow itself, and maybe they scrolled up and clicked this button. Well, if they match any of these conditions, it just stops right there, and this allows users to continue naturally in the progression of the bot. Okay, next thing we check for is if bot journey doesn't contain rebate part 1, maybe they're in order status part 2 and they click this button again. Well, we just go ahead and stop them and send them to the bot journey, and as I said, the bot journey will redirect them back to the order status part 2 flow. Next thing we check for is if text recovery contains either yes or yeah. If that's correct, well, we know to continue to this action right here. We check if text recovery contains no, edit email, or the @ sign. If that's correct, if that matches, we just go ahead and clear their PayPal email, and we go ahead and ask for their email again. Last thing we check for is if bot journey is rebate part 1 email confirmation and text recovery is unknown. If that's the case, we just go ahead and send them to this action, which sets the bot journey to rebate part 1 blacklist check, and it goes to the next step. But if none of those conditions match, well, we'll go ahead and send them over to the default reply, wherein they can click talk to human if they want to talk to a human. Now here, this is the message note that educates users on selecting the right variant. All right, here we tell people you got to select the right product, you got to select the right variant, and use the image that we provide for you as a guide. And then we also tell them if you don't buy the right product, you're going to have to start again. Next thing we have is an action that checks if users are in the global blacklist. And here, let me just show you real quick. It uses their email, their hashed email, and their complete shipping address. And here, if a scammer is found, well, we'll know about that. All right, so from there, we go ahead and we increase the AMZ script attempt by 1. We clear the product status 2 cuff and the rebate percentage cuff. From there, we go ahead and send them to this condition. Very first thing we check for is if AMZ script attempt is exactly 3. If that's the case, we send them over to the smart delay. If scammer found is true, we send them to the blacklist verified flow. Now if script limit is true, then we go ahead and redirect them to this 1 minute delay, and then we try the blacklist again. Next thing we check for is if if tag is AMZ admin or AMZ override. If that's the case, we'll just go ahead and skip this 15-second delay and go straight to this condition. Now, the reason we have this 15-second delay is so users have the time to read this message note over here, all right? That's the only reason we have it. So after this 15-second delay, we check if search find by is true. If it is true, we go over to this get row by value action for search find by based campaigns. And if it's false, we go over to the get row by value action for URL based campaigns. Now, both of these actions, what they do is they check if the product users have selected is still available or not. And we also pull the rebate percentage, all right? One thing to note is that the search find by get row by value also pulls the latest keyword that's available for the product that users have selected. All right, we go ahead and we check out this condition. Again, we check if AMZ, if the tag is AMZ pending rebate. If that's the case, it just stops right there. This is mostly for us live chat agents. All right, so if you accidentally if you send this flow to somebody without really checking their tags, maybe so if you send this flow to someone without actually checking their tags, well, it'll just and without actually checking their tags, and they happen to have this tag, well, it will just stop right there, and you'll tell people, hey, you already have a pending rebate. That's pretty much it. Or you don't have to. Now the next thing we check for is if tag is pending rebate. If that's the case, it just stops right there. We also check if product status is expired or if product status 2 is expired. If that's true, well, we send them over to the highlight product flow. We also check if product status is not available, sold out or null. And again, if any of those conditions match, we'll send them straight to the highlight product flow. Next thing we check for is if AMZ rebate percentage is unknown. That most likely means that the get row by value failed the first time around. So we go ahead and send them straight to the AMZ to this condition, and we pull all the values again from the get row by value. If it is not a known, next thing we check for is if bot journey is 15-minute warning status check. If that's true, then we go ahead and we set the AMZ rebate percentage to. If that is true, we'll go ahead and do the math. If that is true, we go ahead and do this action, which does the math of, which basically does the math of, oh my God. So if that's true, next thing we do is we set the rebate percentage to rebate percentage divided by 100. This is if you want to actually include taxes later on, all right? Now you have to set that up, okay? Now the next thing we check for is if bot journey is 15-minute warning status check. If that's true, we'll go ahead and go to this action, which just sets the rebate percentage to rebate percentage divided by 100, and that's all it does. Now remember to check out the junk drawer folder because I explained how the 15-minute warning flow works. All right, now if none of these conditions match, then we know we are eligible to continue. So we set the bot journey to rebate part 1 product search. We remove the override tag if users have it, and we do the same thing right here where we set the rebate percentage, and we go ahead and we check this condition. If search find by is true, we tell users how to find a product using search find by techniques. If we tell users how to find the product using the keyword, and if it's false, we give users a link to the product so they can purchase. As you can see here, it says URL instructions, search find by instructions. Now again, we have the cancel order. Now again, we have the cancel order button. This is another part where we realized people were no longer interested in continuing with the purchase, and so we gave users the option to cancel their order. And in the cancel order flow, if they do decide to cancel, if they type yes, I want to cancel, we'll tell them, hey, check out our. So here we have, for both message notes, we have the cancel order button. Again, if users are no longer interested in continuing with the purchase, well, they'll just go ahead and click this button and redirect over to the AMZ cancel order flow. Now, from here, we check conditions. This is for testing purposes. Here, now this first condition, now here we have the. Now here we check if tag is AMZ admin. This is for testing purposes, all right? So the way I have it set up is that if I have this tag or if you have this tag, it sets the bot journey to rebate part 1 2-minute delay. it skips the actual 2-minute delay and sends them over to this condition. All right, this is for you so you can test everything quickly without any delays. We also check if tag is AMZ pending rebate, and if none of those conditions match, we send them over to this action that sets the AMZ bot journey to rebate part 1 2-minute delay. We clear their order ID and we clear their order status. Following that, we do the actual 2-minute delay. We check if bot journey isn't rebate part 1 2-minute delay. Now this condition here, we check for. Now this condition here, we have it in case users actually click the cancel order button. If they do, then obviously if they do, in that flow, their bot journey is going to change. And well, once that 2-minute delay finally ends, if this matches, it just stops right there. All right, next thing we do is we go over to the order status part 2 flow. Once users don't match this condition, we go over to the AMZ part 2 order status flow. All right, that's going to be the flow that asks for their order ID and it verifies their order. So I've noticed. All right. So if they don't match this condition, we go over to the AMZ part 2 order status flow. Now that's going to be the flow where we ask for their order ID and we verify their order. We'll show you that video. We'll show you that in the next video. Thank you so much and have a great day. Now, all right. So if this condition doesn't match, from there, we know to send them over to the AMZ part 2 order status flow. Now that's going to be a video. Now that's going to be another video. In that video, I'm going to explain now. Now from there, if that condition doesn't match, we'll send them over to the AMZ part 2 order status flow. Now that's going to be a flow where we ask for their order ID. We check if they put any words in their orders. Now, all right. So if they don't have this so if this condition doesn't match, we know to. So if this condition doesn't match, we send them over to the AMZ part 2 order status flow. All right, that's basically it for the AMZ part 1 introduction flow. Again, if you have any questions, please let us know, and we'll be happy to help you out. Thank you so much, and have a great one.